What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode... Wait for it. What episode is this? It is episode 100 of Next Gen News. We did it. We did the damn thing. We're at episode 100 of this show. My name is Mitch. Joining me, as always, Richard.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Michael, he's back. We got him in the Discord. He's trapped. He can't leave ever again. And Chase, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to there is some gaming news we're going to talk about, and then we're just going to have a little chill session of 5-round trivia, and then I guess I kind of came to the consensus while coming up with these trivia questions that it's going to be very difficult to keep this going because there's just not a lot of good trivia questions left, in my opinion. So I guess at the end of this, I'm going to crown the winner of video game trivia for this. I guess this is 2022. I can't think of what year it is right now. So we'll do that, and then we're going to kind of just talk about what's next for the show and everything. So, but let's get the news out of the way. Let's talk about what games are coming out this next week. There's not much unless you are an indie fan or someone who likes golf, because we have South of Circle coming out on everything on, what is today, Monday? So it comes out on Wednesday. It's a weird release date for that. Turbo Golf Racing coming out on Xbox and PC, and Recipe for Disaster coming out on PC on the 5th. And that's it. It's a quiet week because I think next week is Saints Row, to Richard's dismay. And then...
Oh, is it? We ain't keeping up with it.
I think it's next week, or is it the end of August?
I didn't realize.
GameInformer.com doesn't tell me next week. It only tells me this week.
Mm.
So it's hard to keep track of what's going on with that.
Hang on, I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah,
I really don't care, but I'll look it up. Let's see.
I don't care, but I will find out.
It is August 23rd. So not this week or next week at all.
Happy 100 to you as well, Steven. Steven's in the chat. Wish you could be here, bud, but I understand.
Episodes.
What?
I said it only took us 98 episodes.
Yeah, it's crazy. As far as news goes this week, we're going to talk about, let's go ahead and start. We got finally got the announcement of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's second wave of DLC. Coming out. That's actually coming out this Friday, and there's actually a new track that's exclusive to this game for now. Like, I was not expecting them to release new content. I thought they were just going to be updating new or old courses. So the new course is called Sky High Sunday, which you're just fighting on racing on a bunch of desserts. It looks really cool. They're bringing over a Calamari Desert from the N64 version, but apparently it's a little different than the original one because you can actually race on the train tracks now instead of just crossing over them. Mario Circuit 3 from the SNES, Mushroom Gorge from the Wii, Sydney Sprint from Mario Kart Tour, Waluigi Pinball, which is a crowd favorite, Snowland from the Game Boy Advance, and New York Minute, also from Mario Kart Tour. Which those Mario Kart Tour tracks are actually really good. I don't know if you guys have played any of the DLC that they've released yet. But the ones that they've brought over from Tour that are based on real-life locations, they're actually really fun. But yeah, this comes out on Friday. If you have a Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, you just get this. You don't have to do anything different. I don't know. Are you guys still playing Mario Kart 8, or you just kind of put it away and just waiting for Mario Kart 9 to come out?
I mean, play a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really, just keep adding stuff to Mario Kart 8. We don't need a 9.
That's kind of where I'm at. They've kind of perfected it. Just keep adding more shit. Chase is trying so hard to wake up. He's constantly just rubbing his eyes. That man went to bed 3 hours ago. He's been up playing Xenoblade or something. Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about what games we're playing. We'll come back to it. Don't let me forget. I'm usually not.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I knew that we glossed over that. I was
Oh, we're so excited.
I know. I'm so excited to talk about stuff. Steven said I still play Mario Kart. It's the Nintendo Grand Theft Auto 5. Same.
It really is.
It really is.
It is.
I wish Nintendo made Grand Theft Auto 5. That'd be great. I guess I didn't actually pull this link up. We got the announcement of PlayStation Plus games for August, and honestly, this is like one of the best lists of games that I think they've probably given out in a long time. Actually, well, they're always pretty good, I guess. But we got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, which comes with, like, if you have a PS5, you get the PS5 version of that, to my understanding. Yakuza Like a Dragon, which was a Series X PS5 launch game, and then the original Little Nightmares coming. I think it starts tomorrow. You can get those games.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Today's the last day to get the last month's games.
Yeah, which was Crash Bandicoot 4 and...
which is $60, so if you haven't got that one, add it.
Yeah.
It's a really good game.
And I can't remember the other two, but they were also pretty good too. I think one of them's... I'm not even going to try to say it. I don't know what it is.
One of it was the Dark Pictures game. I can't remember what the other one was.
Man from Medine or Medan or
yeah.
I don't want to. It's something that looks like that.
And then the other one's like an indie game that has a cool name, Arcadegeddon, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it is.
to that nature.
Yeah. So make sure you grab your current PlayStation Plus games, and then make sure you get the new ones also. There is no update on the Xbox side of this, but the Xbox games with gold kind of suck, so we're not really...
I think, yes, Scourgebringer was in the ones for Xbox next month. Or this, whatever.
Scourgebringer. I haven't heard
if you like... it's kind of like a roguelike Metroidvania-ish type game. So if you like games like that, like Dead Cells, you may like that game.
Yeah, get your free games. Like if you have a subscription, no matter which one it is, or just if you go on the Epic Game Store, you don't even have to have a subscription. You just turn it on and like, oh yeah, here's Lawn Mowing Simulator. It's free. You don't have to do anything.
Always get your free games.
Like at some point they're never gonna run out of stuff to give us. But like, I mean, if you just sat with an Epic account and you just never purchased anything, you would eventually just amass this like great catalog of games. You would never have anything else to do.
And if you don't, I think I've said this before, but if you don't have a computer, you can just still log on with your internet browser on your phone and still claim these games. And eventually, when you do or can't afford a computer, and prices are changing all the time. We just had tax-free weekend, but prices are getting better for computers and computer parts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, go ahead and rack up those free stuff.
Yeah, do it. That way, I mean, even if you just buy a pre-built or something, or you can still play.
Walmart has a really good deal on a clearance laptop right now. Gaming Tough laptop. It has a 3050 in it, and it's a really good deal.
Yeah, get you that tough laptop. All right. The two big stories this week. First one, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the remake that was coming out announced for the PS5. Apparently it's been in development for about 3 years and has reportedly been, quote, paused indefinitely due to Sony and Lucasfilm people going to play test the game and seeing the state it was in. And it has been paused because I guess they were not happy with the condition that game was in. So that's kind of like, I don't know. It kind of makes me worried that game's not going to come out at all. Or it's going to be 5 years before that game comes out. Do you guys feel the same way about that? Or like you think it's still coming? It's supposed to come out this year or next year, right? Like it's...
I think it needs to be handed off to a different developer.
Mm-hmm.
You 3 years, and both Sony and Lucasfilm were displeased. I mean, that's it. 3 years,
right?
And this isn't like you've already got the framework and everything laid out for you. This is a remake. You've got the story, you've got the characters, you've got everything. And after 3 years of work, the people you're doing this for are not satisfied. Yeah, that feels like a failure from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, Aspire, like they've in the past, like all they've really done is just do ports of games to other consoles. They've never like really tackled something of this caliber before. Excuse me. And so yeah, I think they kind of just got in over their head with what they were doing here.
Definitely.
So the this is from Bloomberg. It says the Texas-based studio Aspire's recent internal demos Star Wars KOTOR remake didn't land well as it could have when shown to Lucasfilm and Sony. This has led to Aspire telling employees that the project would be put on pause and the company would look for, quote, new contracts and development opportunities. They also fired the remake's art director, Brad Prince, and design director. And then, yeah. They laying the hammer down. They want to get this game out there, so they're canning people over it. So I guess they thought that other people will do better. But we'll see. I think Richard's right. I don't think they'll hand it off to someone like BioWare or something, but I think that BioWare is who did the original KOTOR, right? Am I right with that? People who did Mass Effect.
Yeah. And you've got like single individuals that are remaking like Simpsons Hit and Run.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's doing it by himself and it looks phenomenal. And you got like a whole studio that's had 3 years and they're unable to impress. It's something, hand it off.
And Aspire, like they're a part of Embracer Group now, which means that there's like 100 other studios that they could, send help to make this game get through or whatever they need to do. Because I think they're now like the biggest games, like overhead game studio company. With all the different people that they got in there. It's crazy. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get to see the KOTOR remake on the PlayStation 7 whenever, we get there at some point. And honestly, our last like major headline for this week is talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 again, everyone's favorite game to talk about, especially Richard, if he has some stuff to say about this this article that also came out from Bloomberg. I'm going to kind of just paraphrase this real quick here. But pretty much Jason, I think it's Jason Schreier who wrote this up. Yeah. He's like a big insider with Bloomberg and some other sources, but pretty much like he's gotten with like, if I'm recalling this correctly, he's kind of like got with them about saying Rockstar has kind of cleaned up their frat boy nature. Is that how he put it? It was something about frat boy nature or something. Richard, you're more heated about this, so I'm actually just going to let you handle this. Cause...
Yeah, when you look at Grand Theft Auto and how and why it came about and why it became such a big name, it really spoofs basically the human condition of your average American. And it's always been okay. But and not to go off on like the attack against, the term woke and all that stuff. But the way that they've cleaned it up or attempted to clean it up, it doesn't sit well with me because I'm going to say this. I'm going to actually quote Rowan Atkinson. He did an interview recently with Irish Times. People not familiar with Rowan Atkinson, this is Mr. Bean, Johnny English. You should know who I'm talking about. He's an English comedian. So this is what he says. He says that it does seem to me that the job of comedy is to offend or have the potential to offend, and it cannot be drained of that potential. Every joke has a victim. That's the definition of a joke. Someone or something or an idea is made to look ridiculous. He said that in a proper free society, you should be allowed to make jokes about absolutely anything, with the understanding that not all jokes are for everyone. Mm-hmm. And, that's been kind of a heated topic, at least, I don't know globally, but in America, we're kind of going against the whole like cancel culture thing where you say something wrong, then you basically, you've got people trying to kill you on social media and take your livelihood and everything away. And I'm not saying that anyone should be bullied and harassed. I think that's a different topic than being able to take a joke, even if it's at your own expense. I think there's a clear difference there. And I think that Grand Theft Auto has built itself, even if you think about the radio stations and, the different things that they lampoon, that's what people come for, those sort of inside jokes and everything that sort of mirror what we see in the real world. And I think it's a little bit sort of grandstanding. And now I'm not talking about, the article starts off talking about how there's a female protagonist now. I don't think anybody's going to have an issue with that. We've been playing as female characters for what 2 decades now, almost. I think like Laura Croft cleared the way, so I think we're over that hurdle. But I think the real problem is how they choose to clean up what comedy they use and what they deem as inappropriate. Because when you look at it, it's kind of odd when, as a developer, they say, okay, we can't make a joke against, say, a transgender individual. That's crossing a line. However, you can still like bang a prostitute in your car and then beat her to death with a baseball bat to get your money back. And that's okay. It's, what are you doing? Like, I mean, because to me, it doesn't sound like, you either clean it up, which you can't because it's Grand Theft Auto, or you leave it alone. I don't believe in this, I don't like what they're doing because you can kind of see through it.
Yeah.
You can't be picky and choosy on stuff like that. You're either all in or you're not.
I think
and Grand Theft Auto has always been all in.
Yeah. I think it's whatever changes they make, they're not going to be as noticeable as people think they're going to be. If you think about it, I think a good example of this is South Park. Because if you think about South Park 10 years ago and how they literally had no fucking filter whatsoever, they didn't care about anything. They would, like, it's Grand Theft Auto, like, they would go after anyone over anything. And now they still do it, but, like, some of the things that are, like, very offensive to people, I think, like, you don't really see it as much, but it's not like, they didn't, come out and say, hey, we're going to stop doing this, so people aren't noticing it. So I feel like if this article came out, it never came out about GTA 6 and they stopped doing, like, for example, your example, like the transgender stuff. If they just stopped doing it and this article never came out, nobody would ever notice it. Like,
Right. But you've got companies that want to, like, grandstand on something like that. And it doesn't, the opinions on subject matter like that are so split and so divided. It's not like you're not going to be universally hailed for anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think, Warner Brothers handled it best, because they still show the old cartoons and they preface it. They're like, hey, this humor doesn't really hold up, but we're not going to change it. We're not going to hide behind something and just not show it or edit it out or anything. Like, show this episode with a grain of salt. And for a game like Grand Theft Auto, I mean, the character is who you want them to be. Essentially, I mean, if someone's going to talk about trainees and you happen to don't like it, beat the shit out of them. Plain and simple.
They put a disclaimer. Well, I think they did it in 5. There was a disclaimer that came and said all likenesses or anything in this game are entirely fictional and nothing that happens in this game is based off of the beliefs of anybody that worked on the game or shit like that. And I just think that they're probably, it'll be like probably just a little bit of a longer disclaimer that shows up when GTA 6 comes out. And who knows, maybe this article is just not accurate and that Rockstar really don't give a shit and they're going to make fun of it.
Well, no, because they've already done some, because there was, I don't know, they removed an image of a Confederate flag, which, I mean, to be honest, the group it was representing was a bunch of racist rednecks. So, I mean, like,
Right. That's their favorite game is Grand Theft Auto.
So I don't, it's just, it seems to me that I don't like when people like pick and choose what they think is offensive and what I mean, again, to me, I see it like an all or nothing thing. It's got to be either really pure and, something like Mario, you're not going to see anything offensive on Mario. At least I don't think you would. But, something like Grand Theft Auto, I think you go into it knowing that you're going to see like some pretty wild stuff.
I don't know. Mario's an Italian plumber with a Brooklyn accent that really enjoy. What is that other? There's like a whole thing. He's like every single like stereotype like all put into one. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
I don't know.
that's a. I think Mario is a good example of just like kind of like growing from a stereotype racism. Like they put the mustache on there because they're like, oh yeah, this totally fits that Italian plumber sort of character. And maybe not all Italians have a mustache, but it was a really solid stereotype at the time, and now they've made that an iconic image.
But Mario doesn't do the, he didn't do this.
If I lived in New York and I needed a plumber and a dude that looked like Mario didn't show up, I would highly question his ability to plumb my problems.
Right.
I mean, that's...
And then...
I would be plumb surprised.
Yeah, plumb and simple, man. Like, just... Like, if he didn't show up and he didn't, like, either bring a toad with him, whether it was an actual toad or a Mario toad with him, or put a green, yeah, or he like stood on my shower drain and just got sucked into a cartoon land, like just. That's what I just need something like that to actually happen, and that would just be great. But yeah, that's all the news for this week. So let's talk about what we've been
politics. No,
no. Let's not do that here. Save everyone. Let's talk about what we've been playing this past week, since I skipped it at the beginning of the episode. Richard, what have you been playing this past week, sir?
No Man's Sky.
I thought he was going to say nothing. Okay, anyway. Go ahead.
No Man's Sky. My forever game.
Oh, Michael, you have a forever game with Richard.
Yeah. Heart emoji.
Yeah. I got like the first 2 things of the new expedition done, which is kind of weird because they gave us 2 months. It just feels like a really long time, and it's not. I don't know. The expedition doesn't feel that long.
For now.
Maybe it's enough time. I haven't really looked at it, but the last couple of expeditions, they had like community landmarks too. So maybe it's just enough time for people to get those community landmarks.
There's no community landmarks with this one. There's one optional goal that you can do that you literally have to do with another live person in game.
Oh, sounds like y'all have a play date planned.
Other than that, it's yeah. If you want to do it, we can connect. But there's a lot of people that's trying, so it's not hard to find somebody.
Wednesday, so we can do it one of those days.
Okay.
You also been playing Fortnite, haven't you, Richard? When you get the Vader.
Yeah, I do that a little bit. Maddie wants Vader really bad. She's on, I think she's level 67 right now. So she's almost there. She's got, I think till September 17th is when the season ends. And I didn't, apparently, the levels in Fortnite, it's not like an RPG where it's 100 points to get to level 2, and then it's like 125 points. They don't increase. It's like it's 80,000 experience points each level. So
yeah,
you can kind of keep that going pretty steady if you
have nothing better to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Max is in the chat. Max Claude, if you know him, he says happy 100th.
Oh man.
Oh, is that who Bullet Man is? I know Max Claude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last time I talked to him. I think we had lunch at Wendy's. Was the last time. It was probably like 10 years ago,
what
I believe.
What a memorable occasion. I also remember my last time with a redhead and a nasty burger.
Michael, what have you been playing in the past 3 months you haven't been here?
Oh my god.
Pharmacy Simulator?
Mainly just mobile games. Recently just got into this one game called Bot World.
But wait, hold up. You cut out. What did you say?
I recently got into mobile gaming.
Okay.
So I've been playing this one game called Bot World. And it's basically like Pokemon, but with robots. And you have to find their recipes out in the wild, which is completely random on finding the recipes, which I think is bullshit. But it's still I guess still in beta, despite the amount of content there is. So they only have 40-something bots to find.
So when you say recipes, are you finding all the ingredients for a chicken parm and you shove them together and you make a car excavator? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, basically, it's here's some wire, here's some crude oil, here's some fiberglass. All of a sudden, that's a Rocketeer.
Okay.
And then you have your starters. You have a frog, you have a ram, and something else weird. I got the frog because the frog jumps away from people, and it was the cutest. So, you can't find any starters out in the wild that I know of. but you can find the one that you started with, so you can upgrade it. That's somehow a thing. And yeah, you just kind of like throw them out into the wilderness, and they have their own AI, and they battle the other bots that you encounter. So it's fun. It's cutesy.
Yeah.
I'm a cat.
Couldn't tell.
Meow.
Chase, what about you?
So yeah, I just realized that I have finished or played 100 games so far this year.
Oh my god!
Already,
Wow.
yeah. So I did finish Omori last night before bed, and I can honestly say it's one of the top games of the year for me. This game is from a new studio called Amacat, and this was their first game. It was in development for 6 years before it released about a year and a half ago on PC. It just recently launched for consoles. In the story, you control a boy who's like socially withdrawn himself in solitude named Sunny. And when you're playing in the dream world, his alter ego's name is Amori. So you explore the real world and the surreal dream world to overcome their fears and secrets. And how you interact with the story depends on choices you make by your player, and results in different endings of the game. So the game has a turn-based battle system. It includes unconventional status effects based on the character's emotions. So if a character or enemy is angry, they deal more damage, but they take more damage. If they're sad, they're more defensive and they take less damage. If they're happy, there's like a higher crit chance, like things like that. So that's pretty cool. The game has tons of humorous parts, but it also has like really, really like, darker parts where you're talking about, anxiety, depression, trauma. It also has some psychological horror elements. It does a really great job of balancing these things in the game, because you're going from like your upbeat areas, and you're going back and you're like, oh man, this is like a sad moment. So you're kind of like balancing all of that going through. And it's common with like most JRPGs, like those common enemies, they don't require like a lot of strategy to go through, but like the game has some really awesome boss fights that you've got to like stay on your toes for. There was one that was like really, really memorable for me. It's not like a really boss fight, but it was like you get to this enemy and it sells like life potions or whatever. So if any of your enemy or any of your companions die, use this like life gem to like bring them back to life. So you go up against this character, and like he immediately kills all your companions. And I was like, oh no! And then he's like, oh yeah, here's some life gems. So use these on your companions, and you use those, and you beat the boss. So it's kind of fun. It's got like a lot of
terrifying. Yeah,
yeah, like it's overall it's a lot of fun. But yeah, there's like puzzle solving, side quests, mini games. There's a lot packed into this game. The game does a real good job of the way the story unfolds over a few days, and then you learn more and more about what's going on. And like there's a lot of like really deep parts into it. Like I don't know. There's a lot of. I mean, it gets really heavy at some point, so there's a little warning on that. Draws inspiration heavily from Earthbound and Undertale, but it really feels like it shines on its own. A lot of reviewers are calling it already a cult classic. Like I usually finish a game and I just put it on my finished shelf, and this is a game that I'm definitely going to have to go back and replay at some point. So I highly, highly recommend this. And I also picked up Xenoblade 3. I'm probably going to start it right after this episode. So I'm going to get on that next week.
Yeah, buddy.
So
yeah.
when the game, when the moon hits your eye like a piece of pizza pie,
that joke is in there.
I'm so glad.
Oh my gosh. Before I share my list, Steven made sure he would let us know what he's been playing, which has been RuneScape, Fall Guys, Let It Die, Planet Crafter, and Mega Man Battle Network. At least one of those is like a go-to every week for him. I think it's Battle Network. He always playing some Mega Man. So
I've been meaning to get
dude, where in the world is Death World at? We had that beta. It felt like it was done, and now there's like no update or anything on that. The sequel to Let It Die.
Oh, it's been paused indefinitely due to negative viewer feedback.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I could kind of see that, but you know,
They shouldn't have let Aspire develop it. I actually picked up a couple of things on like an eShop sale or an indie or a dev sale on PlayStation. So there was this game called Green Hell that was normally $60 on the Switch. It was on sale for $3. So I was like, I'm gonna play that, and there's a reason why that game was $3 on the Switch. It runs like complete ass. It's runs at least no more than 20 frames per second. It's an open world survival game. If you have to put the word open world or even just a first person shooter on the Switch, you already know what you're going to get yourself into because it's going to run like absolute like ass. Yeah. Apparently that game's really good on PlayStation and on Xbox or PC. But it's terrible on there. I got I always forget. Is it called the Sinking City or the Forgotten City? It's like that.
Forgotten City.
Forgotten City.
I mean, there's both. Both exist.
Whichever one of them is like the H.P. Lovecraft type game. Whichever
There's
one.
Both of them.
Oh
that's the Sinking. That's actually no. That's the Sinking City.
Okay.
Oh, is the Forgotten City not a H.P. Lovecraft? I thought it was.
No, it was not.
Okay. Well, that game was on sale on PlayStation for $7, so I grabbed it. I haven't started it yet, but that looked really cool. It was, any game that's like, hey, we're giving you a PS5 version for free and it's under $10, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. And then the big one for me, honestly, that I've been playing a lot of is A Plague Tale Requiem. The sequel comes out later this month too, I believe. The first game, I don't know exactly what year it came out. It kind of looks like a beginning Xbox One PS4 game, the way it looks at least. Graphics aren't like all that good, but except for like the environments are incredible. But the story, man, the first 10 minutes of that felt like the beginning of The Last of Us, like all over again, just in a different way. And
nice.
It was like, it literally felt like somebody like put their like arm on your shoulder and hold you still, and they took their other arm and punched you like square in the chest. Like it was.
Are you trying to sell this game for people to play? Is that your?
Yes, it's so good.
It just moved up on my list. So
it was crazy. Like the concept of the game is that like it takes place in France, like right at the beginning of the Black Plague. So it's like the late 1300s or early 1400s. And that's all I'm gonna say. There's rats involved. I think that's not a spoiler. There's rats, but like yeah, it looks crazy. As soon as we get done with this, I'm going back and playing it again. And it's made me like super excited. Like day one of Plague Tale Requiem is like on my list, and I really thought it was going to be an Xbox exclusive, but it's coming to all platforms. So pick and choose where you want to play that at. And I guess the only other thing I've really been playing is I just get on Animal Crossing and fuck around. Like that's pretty much it.
Animals? Are you a furry?
No. I had a friend that was like, hey, come to my island, and I get there and she like laid out this like an entire inventory wall of just money and said, here, you can have this. So I paid off my debt. I got a new house. I time traveled. I got back in there. I was like, oh, my house looks cool. I paid it off and then just kept doing this until I ran out of money. And now I got my house all the way done. So
nice.
Yeah. Saved me like hundreds of hours by just time travel. What was that meme of Hulk just going, time travel? Like, that's where we're at with it. All right. Before we get in trivia, I wanted to make sure everyone's aware that next month on September 6th, I think it's the 6th, Rick and Morty season 6 starts up. And you should all be extra excited about that because Rick and Morty is awesome. And I think that was like the last announcement from Comic-Con that was like, I need to make sure people know about this because we talked about Marvel last week, right? I know we talked about Black Panther. Did we talk about all of the Marvel stuff though? Like with, or was that?
There was a lot. Like,
yeah, so do we need to talk about
list?
All
So,
look, if we need to fill out some time in an episode, there's no better way to do it than talking about Marvel. Or I guess there's probably other better ways to talk about it, but still.
Politics.
No!
That's a topic that really brings people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does.
You see the viewer count just
if you look at social platforms, I think more people talk to one another on those sort of comment threads than any other.
You're not wrong. Like, there are some people who are just like, you know what? I was going to stay on a conversation because y'all were talking about feet and cat girls, but now that y'all are talking about Biden, I'm gonna join in.
No,
this just brings people together.
I know what we'll do. Let's talk about if you guys have anything to share, at least just anything that's like a hobby of yours or anything that you've been up to that you want to share with anybody, like Richard and his board game stuff. I know he's not doing like his actual website anymore, but like he gets banned every time he gets on.
No, man, that like it's that whole industry is like taking a nosedive.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody that's like me that likes the whole like board game stuff with Kickstarter, it may be time to take a break. The whole like global shipping fiasco right now is just skyrocketing shipping prices. You know, whatever you're giving for a board game, which, you know, if it's Kickstarter, it's probably going to be more than 100. Expect to also pay that in shipping. It's gotten absolutely ridiculous now. You know, I'm seeing shipping costs that are like 3 and 4 times what they were just a year ago.
Goodness.
Yeah, there's been
locally, like, things are a mess. Like, I've ordered 2 things from Amazon that were just like from a warehouse in Tennessee, and it's still like delayed in shipping, and it's been like over a week. So.
Well, you know, the Mythic Games, they're doing the Darkest Dungeon, and they've caught a lot of flack. There's like a storm against them right now because they've actually asked backers for more money, which, you know, I did the Ancestral Edition, so it was close to $400 for the board game and everything.
Yeah.
And initially the shipping was, I'm going to say 25 to the US, and they wanted about $50 more. And, you know, wow, it blew up. You know, everybody, they hate Mythic Games, you know, everybody's just like losing their shit over it. And I think part of the reason was it, to an extent, it almost feels like blackmail because you either pay it or you don't get it. And you've already paid like $400 for it. Right. So, you know, it's the only thing that I blame Mythic is their original shipping window was November of last year. As a company, I think that now if this was their first game, it would be excusable. This is like their 11th or 12th game. If you don't know your development window and, you know, your play testing, you need to have a better handle on that kind of workflow.
Yeah.
You know, because if you miss it by an entire year, you know, something's not right. So to an extent, I think that is their fault and their problem, because if they would have shipped when they said they were going to ship, they probably wouldn't be in the situation they're in now with the costs. But that being said, they are where they are. You either pay it or you don't. And I know that Marvel Zombies from Simon Games, it's one that I think because of shipping, they didn't want to ask backers for more money, so they've actually pushed it back like a year. So, you know, it's not a good time to be buying those really nice Kickstarter exclusive board games right now, just because until the shipping things, you know, gets worked out.
Yeah.
I was going to kickstart this like Metroidvania game that was like based in Europe, and like I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy that, you know, and because they had like a physical copy edition, it was, you know, you pay 50 or $60. I was like, you know, it goes to the developer, you know, whatever, and that's fine. But like the shipping was like $30 for a game, and I was like, there's no way. Like I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Imagine that they. Know, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As I say, they've put out like spreadsheets that show like container prices and stuff like that. I mean, it's through the roof. I mean, it's not that they're overinflating the prices. I mean, it's literally just that expensive to ship stuff now.
Yeah.
Imagine if they charge shipping for a digital game.
Hey, somebody's got to click send.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, you want to buy this digitally instead? That'll be an extra $10. Like, no. I've been a firm believer that digital games should have cost less than physical games anyway, even if it was by like $10, because they're not having to do all the like in-store fees and all that other junk that goes with it. But What do I know? I only work retail from the other end of it. Yeah. Anyway, Michael, anything you've been getting into, gaming or otherwise? I know you said you tried making candles the other day.
I made an aluminum ball.
There you go. He just made that at his desk.
I'm actually trying to build it up bigger, and then I'm gonna polish it. It's like a Japanese
Oh yeah,
Oh, I did that. Hey, make sure you wear gloves.
Yeah.
When I did it a few years ago, I didn't wear gloves, and it turned my fingertips blue.
Yeah.
That'd be cool though.
Not permanently, but yeah, for
That
whatever
would-
reason.
Like a residue. There's like a coating on the aluminum foil, and then part of the aluminum itself. So yeah.
What if they did stain his hands blue forever?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it was just my fingertips,
Yep.
but yeah, because you got to take a little hammer and you got to keep tapping it and tapping it and tapping it before you start, the polishing thing. And they look really cool when you get them done, but it's a little bit of work.
I saw where Adam Savage recently had his cut in half.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
that's an awful lot of work to cut one in half.
I've seen one like in those like little smash machines.
Oh
Like
yeah,
someone made one and then like smashed it.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Chase, have you been getting into anything other than gaming?
No, I've been working on my PlayStation 5 collection, but it's been a little slow lately. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
Nice. I think I shared this with everybody, but I'm just going to share it out to the ether. I was doing my nightly routine where I lay in bed an hour before I go to bed and I watch TikToks. As most people do. And there was something that showed up about this entry level voice acting thing, and voice acting is like something I've always wanted to get into. Because like I can do some voices, not as well as I used to, but I can still do them a little bit. Anyway, this thing said, "Yeah, come on, get on this Discord server and let's talk about this animated series we're going to be looking into, needing voice work for." And I get into it, I'm like reading everything. They had a couple of like scripts in there, and then I realized that it was like for a furry movie, and I've never left a Discord server so fast. It's like, get me the hell out of here. But it did prompt me to go like
permanently on your record, and we'll follow you on Google Analytics.
Yeah, sure will. It's fine. But now I started looking into like more voice acting stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll submit some work at some point or do an audiobook. But it was just something cool that I came across, and that's pretty much, other than work, the only like hobby like thing I've done in the past like 3 weeks.
Dude, man, you got to start building that resume somehow, man.
Like, if I'm desperate, we'll revisit the furry movie. But it's not where I want to start.
Do the voice work for the adult furry film.
No.
Give yourself a challenge. Go to a game that has like voice tracks, and then just try to replicate those voice tracks in your own style. Yeah. Like Genshin Impact has like a whole, like for every single character has all their voice tracks and all their voice lines for like action and battle, and as well as the story. And just go through that.
Yeah. We can make something happen. All right. It is time for this 5-round trivia gauntlet. At the end of this, I will be awarding the winner of this. Steven, if you're still watching this video, I will delay answer responses for a second in the event that you would like to attempt. I know you wanted to be here today. Just extenuating circumstances weren't going to make you here. So I'll give you a chance to play along as well, or Max or anyone else watching, feel free to play along too, but the only person in the chat whose points are going to actually matter are going to be Steven's, unfortunately, because I'm not mailing a random person or Max a trophy, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind.
What?
I thought you meant like ours didn't either, and I was like, well, hell, then just send the stuff to Steven if he's the only one that's going to get points.
No. Okay, so the first question here, and these are in no particular order of difficulty, I guess. It was just the order I came across these and thought this would be interesting. Question 1. The founder of Atari, Nolan Bushnell, is also responsible for creating which of the following dine-in franchises? Is it Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza Place, Pizza Haven, or Pizza Hut?
I'm going to say Showbiz.
Yeah, I was going to go with Showbiz.
I'm gonna go with Pizza Haven.
I'm going to give just a second to see if Steven throws an answer in. If he doesn't, I'll just assume he's not watching anymore, and that's totally fine. But while we're waiting, what makes you think it's Showbiz Pizza Place?
I don't know, because it doesn't exist anymore, and it's got like some creepy Five Nights at Freddy vibes. And I don't know if I'm right or not. I mean, I have no like really good explanation to choose that. I'm just going with it.
Just kind of.
And I went. There used to be one in Rivergate, the Rivergate area. I remember going there as a kid.
There's still a Chuck E. Cheese there.
There is, but now Showbiz Pizza was similar to
Chuck E. Cheese.
with the animatronic thing going on, but they were slightly more creepy. So,
all right, I'm going to make an assumption that Steven is not going to put something in. If he does, we'll figure it out. The correct answer here is actually Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow. Okay.
So, Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese actually have a very interesting relationship, I've come to realize. Nolan Bushnell created Chuck E. Cheese. I think it was 1979 when that came out. And a couple years later, one of the co-founders of Chuck E. Cheese split off and made his own thing, which was Showbiz Pizza Place. And then after a lawsuit, I was reading the chat, sorry. After some lawsuit that happened, the guy who created Showbiz Pizza ended up losing it over like a defamation lawsuit or something, and then all of the Showbiz Pizza places ended up turning into Chuck E. Cheese's. So, but yeah.
Because I remember Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah.
It's not like something Mitch had made up, so I didn't.
That's Showbiz Pizza Place, baby! All right. So we have no points to award on question 1. Question 2. What was the first video game to ever be played in outer space? Was it Minecraft, Halo, StarCraft, or The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past?
I'm gonna go with Minecraft.
I'm gonna go with Zelda.
I'm also going with Zelda because I don't really know.
I can't believe I threw Zelda in as like a stump answer, and I got 2 of you. The answer is StarCraft.
Oh.
I'm gonna be disappointed if nobody gets a trivia question right. I'm gonna need
to.
That's what we're going for.
Got up extra early, made sure I got all of this ready to go. Nobody gets one right. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Question 3. The U.S. Air Force's Condor cluster supercomputer was made up of how many PlayStation 3s? So this supercomputer was literally just made up of PlayStation 3 consoles. Was it made up of 2,036 PS3s, 1,760 PS3s, 5,000 PS3s, or 3 PS3s? Oh, Steven said he's giving answers in Messenger.
What were the choices again?
2,036, 1,760, 5,000, and 3.
I'm gonna go with that first answer.
I'm gonna go with 1760.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna do the.
3. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay. Are you sure? I wasn't trying to like sway your vote.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going with. I was going to do the what was it? No, I'm trying to look at the game show where they always
$1, Bob.
Yeah, $1. Yeah, price is right. Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, Steven, now that I'm caught up with where Steven's actually sending answers, Steven actually got the StarCraft one right. His guess for this one is 5,000. So we have a vote for every single answer here. So somebody's
right.
Somebody is getting a trivia question right today, and that person is Richard. The answer is 1,760 PlayStation 3s made up the the whatever they call the Condor cluster supercomputer.
Straight up guess.
Yeah, good job. This next trivia question actually is it's funny because Michael kind of brought this up a little bit earlier. Which Mario Party game is the only one to let you play as Bowser? Is it Mario Party 6, Mario Party 8, Mario Party 9, or Mario Party 10? If we did, group video games on the show, we'd probably know the answer to this.
I do not know. I'm going with 8.
I'm gonna go with 9.
I'm gonna go with 8.
Okay. We'll give excuse me, a few seconds for Steven to get caught up on that, but yeah. So we have a vote for 8. Was it 2 votes for 8 and 1 for 9? Did I hear that right? Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. The correct answer is waiting. I don't want to start saying something and then. Okay. Steven said Mario Party 9. The correct answer is Mario Party 10.
Oh.
The only one that lets you it has a specific game mode where you get to play as Bowser. It's called Bowser Party, where you use the Wii U, kind of like what Michael's talking about. You use the Wii U gamepad to play as Bowser, and you're just trying to screw over everyone else on the board that's playing a regular game of Mario Party. Except that game sucks because everybody's in the car instead of being individual. And finally, the last trivia question. What is Mitch's favorite video game of all time? Your options are... This is going to actually be kind of hard. I don't know. Super Smash Brothers, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Brutal Legend, or Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Banjo.
That is hard, though. That actually is a difficult. Going into it, I was like, I got this, but no.
I'm gonna do a write-in. It's gonna be this
Tower with Your Dad simulator
called Panty Party, and where you just shoot pairs of panties.
Genital jousting.
No.
I'm going with Banjo.
It's funny because at some point in my life, I have claimed that all of these games are my favorite game of all time, but one of them is like top tier above all the others.
I'm gonna go with Smash.
But which Smash?
Well, I'm kind of just put it as like a general Smash because I love all of them equally. So
I'm gonna go with Majora's Mask.
Okay, so Richard, you said Smash. Michael is Majora's Mask. Chase is Banjo. Steven is Banjo. The correct answer has got to be Banjo.
Yeah.
See, I think you're wrong. I think that Banjo is your favorite character.
Right.
But your favorite game is Smash because you've devoted hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Well, the only difference is that Banjo-Kazooie doesn't track my playtime because I bet the numbers are pretty equal once you put it up together. Because
you really play that much?
Yeah. I probably play that game like at least 3 times a year. I love it. I love the music. I love the dumb characters that have stupid eyeballs on them that are just they just talk and they make weird noises. And I've been playing the game religiously since probably.
All right. Well,
the year
I guess you'd know. So.
Yeah.
I think he's biased though. His answer is biased.
Look, I marked in the chat, or not the chat, this text box, which one I was decided with. That was the longest one it took me to figure out the answer for the trivia question. I was like, do I really, really love Banjo more than I love Smash Brothers? And it's funny because like no one talked about Brutal Legend. That game, in my opinion, is better than Majora's Mask. Like as far as like my tier list of stuff.
Yeah, Brutal Legend is legendary.
Yeah. I don't really care for the RTS stuff towards the end of the game, but the story and the music again, and then you just play as Jack Black and you're just killing demons. Like it's just like you play as Bowser in this game. It's crazy. Like just oh god.
I forgot he was Bowser. This game is so weird.
Yeah. All right. it is time to award this trivia champions. So last place, 2 points, Steven. Third place, Michael, 3 points.
You're welcome.
Chase, 8 points. Richard, 8 points.
Wow.
Wow.
So congratulations, you two. I'm not getting 2 3D printed trophies. You're just going to have to pat yourself on the back for this one. So
It's time for a death battle.
yeah.
Damn it! If I'd have just said banjo.
All right. Whoever has the highest PlayStation trophy score wins.
All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna leave here.
But yeah, congratulations, you two. We are going to mix things up for the foreseeable future. Going forward, we'll be playing a different game on the show just to make things a little easier, and we can have a little more fun with that. We might redo trivia again at some point where we'll take a little break from it. Give some more time for people to come up with cool trivia questions. So going forward, we'll be playing video game 20 questions, which will be pitting all 3 or however many people are on the show together to guess a game either submitted by myself or if somebody in the chat or in our Facebook group wants to submit a game and that we can use those instead. I'll be getting some from people that are not on this show to try to stump everybody, and we'll figure it out from there. Thank you guys for 100 episodes. I think I've only missed one of them. Richard's only missed like a couple. And Michael, we miss you. We're glad you're here. And Chase has been here pretty much every week since he started, which has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Chase does not take time off. It's great. I was make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, Chase needs to take a vacation. Well, he's gotten the episodes where we've had to take off for reasons. So
Yeah.
got time to play other stuff. Steven, we miss you. Hope everything is okay, and you can come back and join us in person next time. But yeah, here's to the next 100 episodes. As long as there's gaming news to talk about, we will be here, unless the society collapses, in which case I can't control that. So yeah, again, thank you guys. And anyone got anything they would like to plug before we scoot out for this week, or Richard has to quickly jump up and hit the end call button mid-sentence?
Yeah, PlayStation's big sale, like summer sale, I think it ends on the 4th. There's a lot of really good games on sale right now, like even like a ton of indie games. I think I went through last night and added like 6 games to my cart for like $7.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about PlayStation?
Yeah.
There's 2. There's one that ends on the 4th and one that ends on the 17th.
Okay. So yeah, there's also Best Buy like this morning just put up a bunch of games on clearance on their website. Gamefly's having a good sale going on. There's a lot of games that are usually like $40-$60 down to $20 right now. And those games come with everything other than the shrink wrap, like even like the download codes and all that. Other than that, I think that's it for me.
Cool. Richard,
Yeah.
Michael, anything?
No,
Yeah.
big going on for me.
Yeah, if anybody has any clue how to get Godfall on PlayStation, hit me up on our Facebook page and let me know, because I can't make heads or tails on what I'm supposed to buy to play that game.
The trick is you just don't. You just save your time.
But I want to. I want to, though. I
trick
think
is
there's
to
a
get
thing
PC.
for the Ultimate Edition. It says $14, and it reads like that's what I need. But then there's this other game that also reads like that's what I need, but it's $25. But I don't know. I don't know. I need someone to explain that to me, because I can't just buy Godfall because I don't own Godfall. That's literally what my PlayStation tells me.
Yeah. Go buy Plague Tale Requiem. It's $10 on PlayStation sale right now. Great game. There's a PS5 version. If you have a PS5, it doesn't cost anything extra to get that instead. Or you can download a free trial. It gives you the first 2 hours of the game, and you get to see the thing I'm talking about that makes you just want to because as soon as I saw that happen, I immediately went and purchased the game. So I was like, that's how you get my money right there. You sold me in the first 10 minutes. It was great. yeah, that'll be it for Next Gen Newsweek episode 100. Go play some Mario Kart DLC this weekend, and that's pretty much all that's coming out. So do that, or Pokemon Presents Wednesday at some point, where they're going to show off that stuff that got leaked on Twitter. So that's coming. And yeah, we'll see you next time with more gaming news for episode 101.
101.
Woo! Take care. We love you. Bye.
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 This week's episode is brought to you by everything with 100 or a score of 100. So you got Dalmatians, the Wonderful 100, the seventh grade math test I had 1 year, and my love for you.
Aww.
Aww.
Bye.